Wow. Out of all of the Superbowl adverts from the other night, I've got to say, that new Batman film looks superb. Bonjour. Well, I know it's the Flash movie, all right. That was a little joke. Well, let's get right into it. As a trailer to make me want to go and see a movie, that was a good trailer. That was a good trailer. A bit of nostalgia bait with the Batman, bit of action, bit of heartwarming stuff to it with the mum and all that. And I know that's going to resonate with me because, you know, all of those whose mums are no longer with us, that's going to resonate on a level. That really is going to resonate on a level. And I'm going to try and be objective about this trailer because I do kind of want, for anyone who's seen one of my videos before, I really do want this stuff to work and I really do want it to be good. You know, we can't, not every one of these films can be outstanding, but if it's a decent romp, decent superhero movie, then I'm up for it. One thing we have all got to do, I believe, is try and separate Ezra Miller's personal life and beliefs and lifestyle and thoughts from the actor and the character of the Flash, because whether he did this film or not before all of his shenanigans that are plastered all over the place, I never agree with two of my favourite actors of all time, Clint Eastwood and Paul Newman, weren't my politics at all, particularly Clint Eastwood. But I loved every single one of his films. I don't want to know what he has for breakfast. I don't want to know what his political leanings are and whether or not he believes in restrictive gun laws in America or whether he loves that. I don't really. But you kind of got to separate all this stuff. But anyway, I think so. What I think is, a lot of people are getting excited because Ezra Miller's a bit of a bell end in real life. But as Flash, I mean, I've seen him in nothing else. In the Flash, in Justice League and in this, he looks a decent Flash. I don't know if I'm going to find two of him irritating, because he is just a geek, isn't he? He is just an irritating geek. Like his Flash, yeah, he's just a geek. But overall, I thought this for a trailer did the job. It was a good trailer, and I tell you what, if they could translate that, I think if I trusted Warner Brothers, I would be really looking forward to this film. I really would, particularly because of the Batman angle. I mean, Michael Keaton's voice kicks the trailer off. It might be showing the Flash, but it's Michael Keaton's voice that kicks it off, and he ends the trailer. It's so obviously Warner Brothers, you know, they've got to sell this on Michael Keaton. Now, I know a lot of people have been comparing this to Spider-Man. Far From Home or Near From Home or On My Way Home or whatever it is from, you know, Done My Home. Whatever it is, the one with all the three Spider-Man in it. I know a lot of people are comparing it to that for the nostalgia bait aspect. And I can see that. I can see it. They, you know, Warner Brothers are obviously going for that. But because we've had the Snyderverse and we've got, I don't know what they're calling the Gunverse. They can't really call it that, can they? Because that's similar to a brand of trainers. But the James Gunn era, we've got this. We've got The Flash, we've got Aquaman 2 and we've got Shazam 2. That are kind of the end of the line for what's gone before. So I can kind of appreciate Warner Brothers' quandary really with these movies, but in and of itself, as a standalone movie, I think this could be good. The problem being, it's going to be Warner Brothers' version of Black Widow, which is a film that's too late, that no one wants. And it's not really kicking off like Black Widow kicked off phase 5. Phase 4, phase bore of Dismal Minus Marvel, you know, full on. And it was a film that no one wanted because you already knew she was dead. And I don't know if Ezra Miller is going to be the Flash, but do you see what I mean? It's almost like this film's going to be on its own, which, see, I really like. I really like the fact that I haven't got to watch 25 films across 12 years of my life to make any of this like resonate. If I'm in and out within 2 hours and this is a decent film with Batfleck and Michael Keaton and maybe a Christian Bale, who knows? They might be holding that back like they tried to hold back on one of the Spider-Men. Oh blimey, you know what I'm like my names by now. Anyway, they might be holding back on Bale because the way that the bat bite comes across and his cape was very Nolan and was very Christian Bale for me. I know it wasn't his bat bite because it had the big cannons on it, didn't it? Christopher Nolan's one. But the cape and the way it kind of swung out in front of the screen, and it was done, the scene was done very Nolan-esque. I thought, oh wow, is there 3 of them? But I don't know if they might be holding that back until a bit of social media leaks come out like they did with Spider-Man. And we all found out secretly. Anyway, wink. So, anyway, but that's all by the by. That's all down. That's all down to the marketing. Yeah, and the mum with that moment when he puts his hand on his mum's shoulder, and it's the. I really did, you know, just nice little flourishes in this that make a decent trailer. Wayne Mansion in the kind of like the dawn mist. Loved it. Then Affleck turning up, you know, saying, nah, you know, be careful what you wish for, kind of thing. All in all, this, as like I say, has got all the hallmarks of a decent film. It's certainly a great trailer. But like I say, just objectively, predictions for the film, I think there's going to be 2 Ezra Millers are going to be really annoying. And I think we're going to be waiting for the Batmans to turn up. I think we're going to be, as much as I love the fact that he's going back in time to save his mum's life, you know, like I said at the beginning, I think that's something that will resonate, not just with anyone who's lost their mum, because it's a really nice hook. But I think 2 Ezras are going to be annoying, because he is that annoying geek, but it works when he's on the screen for a short amount of time. But then perhaps that's why they've got Keaton and Affleck and maybe Christian Bale on board. And the other thing is, I think Supergirl, Kara Zor-El and the Zod bit, obviously Zod's in it because they've done away with Superman, haven't they? They've done away with Cavill with Superman, and he's still in it, and they've kind of put her in it. We won't go there for this, but my prediction is she's going to, justifiably in a way, have a chip on her shoulder, because if it runs along the same storyline as Flashpoint from the comics, she's going to have been imprisoned in the dark in a kryptonite cell, or with kryptonite bars, or with a lump round her neck, whatever it was, until she's found by our heroes of the story. So she's entitled to have a chip on her shoulder, but I think you're all going to understand what I mean when I say she's just going to be a miserable, like, she's going to be a properly po-faced, miserable character, because she's got to be a strongest woman ever, you know, in the whole wide world, and you can't be happy at the same time. And that's very Snyder, I know. And I love the way they did that with Cavill, to be fair. But they showed his lighter side when he was with Lois. In this film, there ain't going to be no light side to her. She's going to be grim, miserable, arrogant, all of the best things that Hollywood are putting into strong female characters at the moment. And that's my other prediction. But other than that, this could be good. This could be good. But it's going to be the Batman film. It's going to be, but it's almost like they're taking a page out of Dismal Minus's playbook. Make a film, don't have the title character in it much, and have everyone else. So, but hopefully there'll be enough nostalgia bait there, and it glues it all together. You know, the annoying flashes, and Supergirl. Because other than that, you know, you can imagine without the Batmans in. And I know it's the Flashpoint story, but can you imagine? So anyway, that's all I've got. It was just, I thought I'd air my thoughts and compare it more to a Black Widow film, almost like the film out of sync with everything else. You know, Black Widow would have been all right 3 or 4 movies previous. This film would have been all right when you still had Cavill as Superman and you still had Affleck. Well, what a waste of Affleck. Didn't see enough of him as Batman, so I've got to say I'm looking forward to seeing him back as Batman. I really am. I hope we see a bit of him. And I hope we see a bit of Keaton as well, because he is the cinematic Batman that resonated with me back in the day. I was there. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I've waffled on about 10 times longer than the actual trailer went. But I found it interesting. It got me fired up. And on that note, I will wish everyone adios.